I'm High Heel Knight. Welcome to my channel. This is my movie review of Joker. It is a crime drama, hard R-rated film based on the DC Comics character, the Joker. It tells an origin story of the character, but there is no definitive origin story of Joker. Joker has been reinterpreted and redesigned throughout the decades of his existence, but there is no absolute origin for that character. So when you experience this movie, enjoy it for what it is, but do not take it as gospel because there is no definitive origin for the character. The story is about a middle-aged man named Arthur Fleck. He is a struggling professional clown performer. He's also an aspiring stand-up comedian, and he suffers from a condition that makes him uncontrollably laugh, especially when he's stressed or frightened. He will just burst out laughing and keep laughing and laughing and laughing, disturbing all around, sometimes to the point where it's like actually hurting his throat because he cannot stop his laughter. But he tries to get through life as best he can. He's trying to take care of his mom, but life has other plans. Life just keeps beating him down and just dragging him through the mud, both literally and figuratively. So across the story, he becomes more stressed, more deranged, more depressed, more anxious, to the point where he essentially snaps and becomes the villain Joker. Now, before I get into what I liked and disliked about the movie, here are some consumer information. First of all, I saw the movie in IMAX because that was just the first showing. I wasn't really interested in IMAX, but it's not an IMAX-worthy movie. If you want to see IMAX, fine, but it's not IMAX-worthy. You can see it in a regular showing. Second thing, there's no after-credit scene. So once the credit starts rolling, if you want to leave, that's fine. There's no type of after-credit scene whatsoever. And third, when it comes to this review, there are going to be some mild spoilers. I'm not going to give away any particular plot points, but at the same time, if you watch any major Batman media in the past 30 years or so, you'll be able to connect the dots to what I said. Again, no flat-out spoilers, but if you're familiar enough with Batman, you'll connect those dots. One of the things I loved about the movie was Joaquin Phoenix's amazing performance. Not just the way he delivered his lines, but his physical body. The way he, somehow converted his physical being into this very thin, very frail type of person, in the way he moves, the way he dances, the way he stands, the way he slouches. It's just absolutely amazing. There's a lot of Oscar buzz around Joaquin Phoenix's performance, and it's definitely well deserved. Another thing I enjoyed is that this movie is kind of a period piece. I'm guessing it takes place somewhere in the 80s because he has a black and white TV, but he also seems to have a Betamax. So I'm guessing it's somewhere around the 80s. But the city, this fictional Gotham City, just looks amazing. The cars, the streets, the graffiti. There is a subway car that just drives by, a subway train, and it's just full of graffiti, and it just looks amazing. I thought to myself, wow, did they find a train that had all that graffiti, or did they rent a train and put graffiti on it? Whatever the case, it all looks amazing. It really felt like I was back in that time period. And another thing that I enjoyed is that this is the origin story of a villain. This is a person that truly becomes a bad guy. Unlike the Maleficent movie, which is promoted as the origin story of one of the most dastardly Disney villains of all time, but it really turns into an anti-hero or anti-villain story. So in this Joker movie, he is the protagonist, and you do feel some empathy as him because he is the protagonist. But by the end, he is deranged, he is cruel, he is violent, he is homicidal, he is an evil person. I greatly appreciated that. Now on to the negatives. The second act I didn't enjoy, and that's because, again, I'm going to those mild spoilers, there are two swerves involved with the second act. Not a double swerve. A double swerve is when the story seems to go one way, but then it turns another way, but it turns back to that first way. That's a double swerve. No, there are two swerves. The swerve's going one way, and then it swerves. And then another story part, again, in the second act, it's going in a particular way, but then it swerves. And those two elements, once they swerved, I was fine, I enjoyed it, but while the story was going away, I was really disappointed. That whole second act, I was really disappointed about until those swerves happened. And I wish there had been some type of clue or hint that a swerve could have possibly occurred, because, again, while I was watching it, I didn't enjoy it. Now, if I see the movie again in future, viewings, I'll probably be fine with it. But just the initial experience of that second act, I didn't enjoy. But what I really hate, no matter how many times I re-see it, is that this movie, at the end, features the scene. This is supposed to be a Joker standalone origin film, focused on the Joker, all about the Joker, and yet it still has the scene. What's the scene? Well, it's the scene that's in practically every Batman media, all the way back from Tim Burton to to the Lego movie and Teen Titans Go movie. When something is supposed to be cruel and dark and disturbing and traumatic gets so commonplace that children's films are making fun of it, it's time to stop, okay? We've seen the scene. We've seen it over and over and over again. We've seen it in movies, we've seen it in TV, we've seen it in live action, we've seen it animated. We don't need to see it again, especially in this Joker standalone movie, which what that scene there obviously sets up, well, maybe we could make a sequel to this. No. We don't need to see the scene again, especially since this is going to be a Joker film. Connect the dots. But with that being said, as far as my verdict, again, subsequent viewings, I'll probably get a lot more, but my ratings are based on my theatrical experience at the time of when I'm watching it. So while it is a great movie with a great performance and great setting, it's just amazing to watch, and it's definitely worthy of being part of the whole Batman lore. Because of that second act, and because of the scene, it loses some significant points. So with that said, I give Joker a B grade. Okay, so those are my thoughts on Joker. I would love to know what you thought of the film. Be sure to share whatever comments you'd like in the comment section. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, or dislike, share, and subscribe. Once again, I'm High Heel Knight. Thank you for watching, and remember, put on a happy face.